Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Doc and Queenie Facebook Live. Hey, Queenie.
You know, when we get to have a guest live, it is my favorite thing in the whole world, Doc. And I am so excited because I already know this guest.
I kind of know her, but not as well. Welcome, Annalaura Brown, author, podcaster, and she's going to be, I'm thinking, a co-host on HNP's Book Lovers, which starts next September 7th.
Yep, next Thursday. It's going to be exciting.
Yes, welcome.
Thursday at 8 o'clock Central Time. We are so excited to have you today. Doc and Queenie Guest Live is one of my favorite parts because we get to hear about our community, and this just lights me up.
So I'm gonna start off. I'm gonna throw you a little softball. Tell us about yourself.
Oh, yeah, that's not much of a softball, really. I kind of knew that was coming. So, yeah, I wear many hats, possibly maybe too many sometimes, but I am from Salt Lake City, Utah. I currently live in a suburb of Salt Lake City. That is where I was born and raised. I have, other than a couple of years in Wyoming as a kid, and then a couple of years going to school in Indiana, pretty much Utah has been my home for most of my life. And I have a little dog who is a 16-pound bundle of joy, a poodle schnauzer mix. And she thinks that she owns and rules the world and my house. That's probably partly true.
Yes, that's awesome.
And I have been a doTERRA wellness advocate since 2011, and I am a certified holistic health coach with the Institute of Integrative Nutrition. I got that in 2015. And so I have built primarily a lot of content marketing as well as, customer teams, some people, joining me and doing a business, blogging, podcasting, all that kind of thing, and gone after primarily the niche of helping women with autoimmune disorders.
Oh, wow.
And I got into that a lot when I had my own autoimmune disorder diagnosis in 2018 with Hashimoto's. So a lot of my focus is on the thyroid just because that's what I have my own personal experience with.
So before we go any further, I absolutely love essential oils myself. I have diffusers all around the house. I must know, what is your favorite oil?
It's so hard. I can't pick a favorite. People always ask that, but I would have to say the Breathe blend has got to be one of my favorites just because that was the first doTERRA one I ever used. And it was because I had respiratory issues. And so that was how I got introduced, was with that one. Okay. It's a mixture of like a peppermint, lemon, melaleuca, tea tree, eucalyptus, all that kind of stuff. But as time has gone on, I have to say, I really like probably the straight eucalyptus a little bit more. Okay. And I also really like kind of a weird one. It's called Douglas fir. And it's one that not a lot of people have heard of, but it smells like just fresh trees, almost like fresh Christmas trees. And it's just really smells good.
And you're right there by the mountains.
To diffuse.
Yeah. You're right by the mountains. You can just run up a mountain and go, oh. Yeah.
I could, but...
You had me at Christmas. Yeah, you really did. You had me at Christmas.
I was going to say, do you like the Thieves blend? I'm a big Thieves person.
So it's On Guard in doTERRA. So doTERRA is different.
Yeah, I never know what to. Everybody has their own, and I just say Thieves.
Yeah, On Guard, is really good for your immune system. So I definitely do like that one, and I do use that one pretty regularly. As far as the actual smell goes, though, it's not my favorite because it actually smells more like what's that pink syrup that people sometimes as a kid like that over-the-counter drug things people. Yeah,
I know that one. So
it smells a lot like that. So as a result, the smell is not my favorite, but it's really good for like your actual immune system, helping you stay healthier and hopefully not get sick as frequently. Let's put it that way.
Well, how awesome that you were able to find some fantastic holistic ways to take care of your own autoimmune. I love that. And Eastern medicine versus Western medicine. And I love learning from practitioners. And of course, Doc being a naturopathic physician, it's the coolest thing ever to be able to know that she has taken garden to table and knows what part works in the body as far as the garden pieces that she grows and harvests, of course. And that's why I'm just overjoyed that you're on the call with us today. What is the topic the main subject focus of your podcasting? When you invite a practitioner, a special guest on your podcast, is there a commonality, or do you have eclectic people from all different realms?
The commonality is that they all have or have had some kind of an autoimmune diagnosis, typically.
Okay.
Occasionally, I might invite on a guest that has worked with a lot of people with autoimmune conditions who doesn't have one themselves.
Okay.
But typically, most of my guests have or have had some kind of an autoimmune condition, and that is what led them to want to start whatever it is that they started.
My goodness.
Yes, they know how it goes.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Exactly, for sure. Just to give you a couple examples. So last week's podcast was an episode with a lady who runs 3 different businesses and also has Hashimoto's and celiac. So she was talking about like her journey of finally getting a diagnosis. She got diagnosed with both on the same day. And if you want to learn more, you can go listen to the podcast. But talking about her challenges of running all these businesses while she also has autoimmune issues. So that was one of the guests I've done. I've also done a few, like I interviewed a lady who got diagnosed with lupus and used hypnotherapy and hypnosis to cure herself. And so there's just all kinds of different things. Yeah.
The body's amazing. You know, you give it the right recipe and it'll heal itself. So that's, so what does, when you do your health coaching, what does that look like as far as, somebody that would be new that would come to you? How does that, what do you do? Do you do assessments? Do you know, I mean, how does that work?
Currently I haven't really taken on clients other than people who are enrolled in doTERRA as well. So I have them kind of combined. So I typically will offer a little bit more intensive coaching for people who enroll with me in doTERRA beyond what, you know, a lot of the other reps would offer per se. I have had some one-on-one clients and I'm headed in the direction of potentially taking some back on, but my focus has really been a combination of doTERRA and content marketing has really been how I've grown my business and made most of my money.
So they get to learn about the essential oils plus. That's fantastic.
Exactly. And then we also have supplements too. We have probiotics and other kinds of supplements and collagen and all that stuff too. So it makes it easy to.
It sounds like a one-stop shop from a standpoint of how badly would you like to work on wellness and holistic healing and things like that. And it's always fascinating to me, just like you mentioned, Doc, the body is phenomenal at being able to heal itself. And when I see people struggling, it breaks my heart, because sometimes there is a better way. And I love when people say, oh my gosh, I've tried everything. And then you mention whatever product or service that you provide. And they go, well, I've never tried that. And I said, well, you just said you've tried everything. So maybe we've got one more step we could help you with. So I love that piece for you, Annalaura.
Yeah, absolutely. It's totally true. I mean, I find very few people have tried everything. I have to honestly say I haven't tried everything. I know for a fact I haven't tried everything that's out there. I mean, how can you really say you really tried everything? I don't think so. I mean, some people might have tried a lot of things, but I don't think most people have really tried everything that actually exists.
They just haven't a place to land yet.
I was saying in the alternative world, the holistic, there's so many different not visions, but approaches and perspectives. So let's flip it a little bit. You are also an author. Tell us about your books.
Oh, wow.
So I have written a bunch of self-published books. Currently, I don't have one on autoimmunity. So it's kind of a little weird because I have published books about all kinds of random things that don't really have anything to do with my actual business per se. I wrote one book that's a little bit of my story combined with some essential oil recipes and some gluten-free, casein-free recipes and a few things designed to help parents of kids on the autism spectrum. So I wrote that one. And then I also wrote a book about how to travel to France without spending all your money. I've been to France a bunch of times, but I was broke every time I went because I just have never been able to go when I actually had a lot of money. And so I wrote the book all about how to still enjoy yourself, even if you are on a shoestring budget, let's say, because France can be an expensive place, but it also can be there's a lot of bargains too, if you know what you're looking for and how to go about it. So I wrote that book. And then I have a few other lesser known ones. Like I have one couple shorter ones, like one on some social media marketing one. I wrote one on how to do online research. I've written, I don't know, people can check me out on Amazon on the Kindle page,
awesome.
see some of the other things I've written. But yeah, that's
awesome.
I saw your eyes pop, Doc. I saw your eyes pop. Yeah, as soon as Annalaura was talking about travel, Doc goes,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm already trying to figure out how to get you to come with me, and we'll buy and you'll see these two lost little souls wandering around.
Yeah, Doc and Queenie on location. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Doc and Queenie at the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. The Eiffel Tower looks really different than you expect. It's actually red almost, even though it looks green in the pictures. And so I remember the first time I saw it thinking, what? It doesn't even look like the pictures, but it's made of like a big metal rust. So when you get up close in front, it actually looks a lot redder than it does green.
Because it's usually gold with lights on it when I see it.
Well, at night, because it's flashing. Yeah, so at night they light it up and make it gold with flashing, but during the day, it's like a big thing of red.
Wow.
Well, and I will be checking out all the patisserie or the pastries.
Yeah.
Chocolate croissant. Yeah.
Those are really good. That's not hyped up. The Eiffel Tower is kind of hyped up, honestly, but the pastries are not.
No, that's that,
Now let's think about this for a second. Is France holistic from a standpoint of healthy food choices? Because needless to say, we instantly think of pastry and the glorious desserts that would be there. Is there a healthy way to travel through France?
I would say so, for sure, absolutely. And the other thing that a lot of people don't realize is, I mean, it's kind of, I would say maybe in the last 10 or 15 years, it started changing, not for the good, fortunately. I think in general, France, they used to be a lot healthier, and then they've started getting a lot more of the processed foods, like from the US and other things, importing them and stuff like that. But generally speaking, they follow a lot of the Mediterranean diet, which is a lot of, like your lower fat cheeses, your olives, your olive oils, your vegetables, your fruits, your meat that's more pasture raised, your fish, all that kind of stuff. And then they supplement it with bread and croissants and things. But the thing is, a typical French person, well, they may eat, like, maybe they have one croissant a day at the most, or like a piece of baguette, like in the morning or at night. They don't stuff their face with that stuff all day long. Even though that's what we associate them with, they don't do that. That's not the big chunk of their diet.
That's neat. That's neat to know. Well, we're just going to have to go, Queenie, and find out.
I'm telling you, you had me at olive oil, so that would be rocking my world right off the bat. So I absolutely love that whole thought process. Annalaura, honestly, I did not know about the France piece of what you do, and I've gotten to meet with you several times. It's so fascinating when we get to do Doc and Queenie Guest Lives that these segments are able to reach the masses, because you've got a very eclectic business model, certainly, but also your coaching style sounds fascinating to me, because it is definitely up to the client what steps they want to take, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. And I definitely have a lot more people that go after the essential oils aspect than say, some of the other things, but that's just kind of how it is. I've partly because I've marketed myself that way, but partly because just being a doTERRA, and it's also easier to sample and share with people. Hey, certain ones, you give them a sample and they get a result immediately. Whereas it's like, if you want to hire me as a coach for me to kick your butt and tell you have to make all these lifestyle changes, they're not gonna see results.
They're not so, yeah.
It's just not gonna happen.
Don't do this, don't eat that, blah, 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 blah. That's probably going to be less well received.
Yes. Yeah, unfortunately, it generally is. And when I try to tell people that I feel like sometimes we're using, and I know I fell into this trap before too, is we're using essential oils the same way a lot of people use drugs, is that we want to use it as a more holistic alternative to excuse ourselves from our horrible bad habits and from just like trying to cover up from not really changing our lifestyle.
And you mean lavender oil won't make me, smelling lavender oil won't make me lose 20 pounds?
No, sorry.
Yeah,
there are essential oils that will assist with your weight loss and help reduce your cravings, but they will not take away from the fact that you still just have to not eat the unhealthy food, and you still have to exercise portion control and go to the gym or exercise, that kind of thing.
There go those cheeseburgers for breakfast.
I'm telling you, everybody wants it instant. That's always so funny to me that, you know, how long is this going to take? And that's always a question. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, you didn't get into this condition overnight. How do you feel that it's going to be fixed overnight? It's just amazing to me, the instant mentality.
So it looks like we're almost out of time. So what is the best way for people to reach out to you? I know we can get your books on Amazon.
You can go to my blog or the homepage of my website, which is my name. So it makes it really easy to remember, annalaurabrown.com. Or I'm on all the social medias, and then pretty much the only Annalaura Brown. Somebody on Instagram stole that name, but has like no posts. So my Instagram, it's Annalaura Brown Wellness.
Okay.
But on every other side, on LinkedIn, Facebook, Pinterest, I'm really, really big on Pinterest, just because as a content marketer and a blogger who's in the health and wellness space, I get a ton of traffic and leads from Pinterest.
Wow.
So a big Pinterest presence.
That's awesome. So is there anything you'd like to share that we didn't cover today before we say goodbye?
Nope, I don't think so. Other than, you know, if you know somebody that's a perfect guest that wants to come on the podcast, or if you want some help with your autoimmune condition and you're like, oh, I don't know if I want to call her and get all involved, you know, I'm a little shy. I invite you to stalk me on my podcast, my blog, whatever. It's free and you don't have to tell me you were there. So there you go.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Annalaura Brown, and thank you, Queenie, for, you know, doing this. We got our schedules together, and thank you, everybody, if you're catching this live or on the replay. This has been Doc and Queenie Guests Live with Annalaura Brown. Check her out, Amazon Books, or go to her website, annalaurabrown.com, and she's all over social media. Like you said, with the exception on Instagram, it's Annalaura Brown Wellness. So until next time, you can check Doc and Queenie out every Monday at Everybody have a fantastic and blessed weekend, and we will catch you on Monday. Thank you, Annalaura. Thank you, Queenie.
Thank you, everybody. This was fantastic. I am so excited for you to make these dynamic connections in our community.
Yes. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Bye.